Hey guys, and welcome to or back to the Pause in Pursuit podcast with your host, Summer Clark. I have a very exciting guest episode for you guys today. It's been a few weeks since I last did a guest episode, so I hope you guys are excited. This week, I'll be speaking to Kate Smith-Moore as she answers your questions about how to perform under pressure in the competitive agility ring. Now, most of you guys will know I work with Kate. She is my performance coach, and I've been working with Kate for all of this year, since January pretty much. And honestly, the difference in my results, in my mindset around agility, in how I feel pre and post run, and just my performance when I'm in the ring is huge. Like, people have told me that they can notice a difference in how I am as a handler and a competitor, and also the results, the consistency that I've been producing with Arrow this year. And the only change I've made is that I've started working with Kate. So I'm so excited to have her on the podcast today, and she'll be speaking about some of the techniques that she's used with me, with her other clients, and yeah, I just cannot wait. I've had so many requests for, psychology professionals on the podcast, so here you go. Here is the best one I know. So a quick weekly update then. No competing, obviously. We did have another session of EO prep with Sammy and Bok. And it is really hard to believe that that was the last one before we go. Me and Sammy have had quite a few sessions at mine preparing, and that was the last one. I set up a cool course inspired by Cedric Bargoin, and Arrow felt amazing on it, went clear. And I also decked out and went flat on my back because the ground was so slippy and hot. Well, it's been hot, so the ground's really dry and slippy. Which is only the second time I've ever fallen over in agility. So as you can imagine, I landed in shock and thought, please let me get up in one piece. Luckily, I was in one piece. But yeah, second fall in 15 years of doing the sport, not bad. Did hurt, still a bit achy on my back, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm in one piece, so that is all good. We also collected Arrow's AHC, so his animal health certificate, ready for our travels. And it is now Wednesday. We go on Sunday to France, so that is absolutely crazy. Just need to do pretty much all of my packing, but we've got everything. I've got everything I need. I just need to organise it, if that makes any sense at all. And then today we had our final training session in the UK over at Lucy's. Arrow was absolutely foot perfect, and I'm feeling pretty much as confident as ever going into next week. So thank you, Lucy, for a very cool training session today. And that is the weekly update. So without further ado, let's get straight into the conversation with Kate. Welcome to the podcast, Kate. The first thing that I always ask my guests on every episode is to briefly introduce yourself. So who are you and what you do, essentially?
Wonderful. So first of all, thank you for inviting me. I'm much appreciated and delighted to be here. So I'm Kate Smith-Moore. I am the founder and performance coach at New Era. My background is actually a scientific background. So I qualified originally as a chiropractor, both in humans, small animals. I then went on to do a physiotherapy course at Nottingham Vet School. So in small animal physiotherapy. Alongside that, I did 30 years in corporate world, basically strategic patient access to medicine. And in that, I was managing teams and individuals and coaching teams and individuals. So that's kind of like where the coaching background comes from. And then I am a NLP practitioner, so that's neuro-linguistic programming practitioner.
Amazing.
That's
a bit of everything then.
Bit of everything chucked in, brought it all together, got made redundant actually, and decided to start a new chapter. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, done it all and got the t-shirts, essentially.
Don't know about that, but yeah, thank you.
Amazing. So we've got lots of questions for you today around how to perform under pressure. Basically, competitors wanting to know how to basically up level their mental game. So we'll dive straight into those. So question one is, what do you enjoy most about being a psychology coach?
Okay. So the first thing to say is I'm not a psychologist. I just want to put that out there. But what am I enjoying most about what I'm doing is watching capable people finally perform like they can.
Yeah.
Like themselves. So I'm not teaching anyone to handle a dog better or anything like that. Basically what I'm doing is helping them remove whatever barriers or road bumps or whatever that's stopping that ability to show up under pressure.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And I can vouch for the fact that it really does work.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. And I think it's, we can just add to that and just say that the pressure, you know, it shows up in different ways for different people.
Yeah. 100%. And as an agility instructor myself, so people do come to me for the handling dog training part of it. Often people will come with problems and they're doing everything right as far as the handling, the dog training, but the missing piece is the mental aspect. And I think it's something that a lot of handlers sort of disregard. They don't even realise that it is a factor that affects their performance. Which is quite detrimental, because if they never realise, then they can't fix the problem. And it was definitely the missing puzzle piece for me, for definite. So I think bringing awareness to the fact that actually it does impact us as handlers, and then therefore our dogs, is huge within agility.
I mean, well, yes, definitely. I mean, a lot of people speak to me about it, and I think, you know, one of the ways it's evidence is if, you know, people say, "Oh, I did great in training."
Every time.
Great training,
he can do it in training.
Then when it comes to the show or whatever, or some level of performance, then the pressure can hit from different directions. Definitely.
Absolutely. So the second question then, also before we move on, actually, you say you're not a psychologist, sorry. So what would you class yourself as? What is your kind of title?
I'm a performance coach.
Performance,
is how I would title it.
No, that makes sense. Perfect. Yeah, because I've said to a few people I've got a mindset coach, or a kind of mental skills coach or something, but I think we talked about this before, just us two, you know, mindset, you can have a great mindset, but still be struggling with your performance because of pressure. Like, you know, for example, me, I have a great mindset for agility, you know, I'm driven, I'm competitive, I work hard, so my mindset's there, I want to do it, but the nerves get in the way, the pressure gets in the way, which impacts my performance. So it's not, I suppose it wouldn't even be sort of mindset based either, would it? It is leveling up your performance.
Absolutely. And I myself have used the word mindset for years. You know, even in my corporate world, use that word a lot. And I just began to realise that actually I'd met a lot of people whose mindset was brilliant. You know, you could not fault their work ethic. You know, like their positivity and their drive and then wanting to do well. But then when the pressure hit, that's the thing that makes the shift for me.
100%.
When the pressure hits, something shifts. And you can still have a great mindset, but still struggle to perform under pressure and to access it. So it's about how you access your resources that you already have under those different loads that makes the difference for me. So I tend not to talk about mindset.
More performance.
For that reason. More about performance and where your attention is.
For sure. So the next question then is, psychologically, what do agility handlers struggle with the most? So what have you seen agility handlers that come to you struggling mentally with the most in the sport?
Okay. I think there's two, probably. The first one would be about allowing results to determine how they feel about themselves.
Huge,
So a little bit like imposter syndrome, I guess, where, you know, that feeling of I'm not good enough, I'm in the wrong grade, I shouldn't be in this grade, I can't get round a grade 3 course, I've just won up and I can't get round a grade 3 course, something like that. So attaching a story, if you like, to a result. So that's the first one. The second one, which comes up a lot, is about worrying about other people.
Judgment.
Either judging or thinking that they're judging, or making comments, or however it turns up. But other people is a huge one. Those are probably the two highest ones. And I would say, if today's runs determines whether it's a good day or not, that pressure is probably too much. You know, it's enormous. It becomes enormous.
And it's impossible really to say this specific run determines who I am as an agility handler or competitor, because realistically you're at least going to have probably half the time thinking you're terrible in that case. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you want to enjoy it, don't you? And from my experience, that's not fun at all, thinking that for most of the time. And
the results are one of the uncontrollables.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can't really control results, because somebody might come up and just be quicker than you on the day.
Yeah.
So, or you can't control the weather, or
even if you've done your best performance.
So, and when you focus on the results, I would argue that your attention is probably in the wrong place.
Yeah, for sure. And even the judgment from other people, like, you don't know that, do you? Unless someone's specifically come up to you and told you their judgment, which most people don't do. Then how do you know that they're judging you? But you just assume, don't you? Like, I assume everyone watching is thinking this, or this person's thinking this, but there's actually no evidence for it.
No, 100%. And so, but it can become overwhelming to start to think about that, and how it can affect how you run can be quite challenging. But there are ways, and there are tools and techniques for reducing that, and helping people to get over that, if you like, and be able to cope with it.
Yeah, for sure. So the next question then, going on from that, is what is the ideal mental state for a competitive run, and how do you access this?
Okay. Yeah. So I think it's different for everybody. So for some people, being calm would possibly be too flat.
Yeah, true.
So I think it's different for different people. So, but for me, the ideal state is where you have enough self-belief to trust your preparation. Point number one. Point number two, that you have enough self-regulation to be able to stay connected to what matters. So you're not distracted. And then the third thing I would say is about self-trust, which for me is huge. And that's about trusting yourself and being able to have enough trust that you don't need certainty before you commit to something.
Yes, okay.
And I think that's a big part of your state, if you like, is being able to trust yourself to cope with whatever happens. And I think most people have got the ability, through the training they've done. So what happens is the pressure doesn't change their ability to execute whatever on the course. What it does is it changes where their attention goes.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
And then instead of focusing on the task, they're now thinking, well, what if I mess this up?
Yeah. You can't be certain, can you?
What will people think?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can't be certain until you do it and it's done.
No.
So you're never going to find that before you run, are you?
No.
That's the problem.
No. There's no certainty in agility, for sure.
No, none.
But then if you're telling yourself these things like, I can't afford to make a mistake, this is my last chance this weekend to win up into grade 6 or whatever, to change your grade. So all of those things are occupying your brain and your mind to protect you instead of allowing you to get on with the job at hand.
Yeah, I think if you focus on the task at hand and what you have to do to give your best performance, like for me, concentrating on that over, going in thinking, right, I need to go clear and win, or go clear and come in the top for this outcome, really helps. Yeah. It's definitely helped me anyway.
Yeah. So basically what I'm doing is helping people stay connected to that focus. And that ideal mental state. And I think there's some other nuances about it. It's like, when do you want to access it? And when do you want to step away from it? Because to be in that ideal state for the whole time you're at your competition, for example, is exhausting. You don't want to do that. So you have to decide, what does it look, sound or feel like for you? So I've introduced a technique or a way of calibrating that, and that's really important. So knowing what it sounds, looks like and feels like for you is really important, and being able to access it repeatedly.
Yeah.
So it's about when do you access it? When's it of most use for you, and when do you want to step away from it?
Yeah, because you can't be in it all day. That's not productive, and you don't want to access it too early and then lose it, or too late and then not get in it, or anything like that.
Yeah. I think the other element of it is understanding what distracts you.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So what is it that takes it away from you? And then noticing that, questioning it, you know, is my focus in the right place? And then bringing yourself back to the moment by maybe a question like, well, what do I need to do next?
Yeah.
What's the next thing I'm going to do?
Yeah.
So your focus, your attention is then brought back to the task at hand.
Yeah, I think that's really important as well, like what is now, what is next, instead of even on course worrying about the very end of the course or the result after you finish the course or anything like that. If you do that, then you're not thinking about, you're probably going to mess up what you have to do right now because you're not thinking about it. Essentially.
Yeah, I think as well. Sorry, this is a very long answer for this question.
No, it's a very in-depth question.
There's another bit to it which is around, for me, different. So the ideal state for actually being in the ring for me would be one of execution.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're there in your mental state is there to deliver a job, if you like. You're there to run the course, which is your execution phase. So. But then what we tend to do is we have another phase, which I would call evaluation. And so your evaluating state, which we tend to do the second we come out the ring. And sometimes we're evaluating when we're actually running the course. So we're thinking, oh, that was a nice turn, or, oh, no, that didn't go quite as I planned. So you're now evaluating while you're running the course. So you've lost your attention and focus on execution and actually doing the job. So it's about what mental state is the most appropriate for the task that you're at hand.
And finding it and getting into it.
Finding it, keeping it, accessing it, and then letting it go when you're done with it.
Till you need it again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. So the next question then is, what are your top tips for controlling pre-run nerves? So I'd say this is the most common thing that I've been asked about or, heard about in the agility community is how do you not get nervous in that scenario? And I'm like, well, I do.
Exactly. I was going to say exactly that. You do. We all do. And it's not a bad thing.
No. It's
not a bad thing because it's completely normal.
Yes.
And again, it actually can be helpful. It actually can be helpful to have a few nerves. I guess what the problem, if you like, starts when we add something else or we interpret the nerves as something being wrong. So we go, I'm nervous, therefore I'm not going to perform well. And that alone creates more anxiety. So what would I encourage people to do? Firstly, acknowledge that they're part of the experience and don't try to fight them. Because the more you try to force yourself to be calm, the more attention you're giving the nerves.
Yes, true.
So I would probably bring your attention back to the things you can actually influence. So before a competition, I would want you thinking about your preparation, your process, your connection to the dog, and that first thing that you need to do once you step into the ring. So not about what everybody else is thinking or might be thinking or what might go wrong. So again, if you're finding yourself drifting, it's bring it back. What needs my attention right now? If your answer is, oh, my attention's on the crowd, it's on the result, it's on my handling, then I'm giving my control and my attention to things that I can't change. I've got no control over those. So, but if my answer is the dog, my handling, my plan, my first commitment, then I'm giving myself the best opportunity to perform well.
Because you're doing what you can, basically, with what you
absolutely.
have.
What you've got, the things you can rely on. And I think also remember that your body doesn't need to feel differently for you to be able to perform. You can still do exceptionally well, even if you feel nervous.
And like I said, some of the symptoms of nerves are actually helpful, aren't they? They focus us
That's right. And
They
I
give
think
us that, you know,
so,
that focus and that you're kind of switched on, aren't you?
yes. And I think we can sometimes wait to feel ready before we allow ourselves to do well.
Yeah.
So it's about accepting that nerves are actually not necessarily a bad thing. And then not necessarily trying to eliminate them altogether. And pressure is part of competition.
Yeah, of course.
That's why we do it. We love it. We love, that's what we love about it. Or one of the things we love about it. So the goal is not to avoid it, but the goal is to learn to function well within it.
Yeah. You're not trying to get rid of it. You're just trying to embrace it, accept it, and use it.
Work well alongside it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Use it to your benefit. And that's that ability to self-regulate alongside it, rather than waste your energy or try and put your energy into trying to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Just learn to work alongside them.
Yeah, because I think some of the main symptoms of, well, not main, but some of the common symptoms of nerves physically that I've struggled with are like the dry mouth and struggling to get your words out and tripping up on your words, and then your breathing goes all fast, and then you struggle to breathe as well while you're racing around this course. So I feel like some of these symptoms of nerves, you know, have a bad rep essentially, because they're like, oh, that doesn't help me do the job, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I do. And I think they can get to a point that they become hindering. Definitely. But the difficult thing is to try and fight the physical symptoms. That's really difficult.
Yes.
If you learn to teach, you can teach yourself to bring the anxiety back, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then the physical symptoms will follow.
Okay.
Well. Rather than trying to fight the physical. Exactly.
Yeah. Focus on the brain and the mental side of it, and then the physical follows.
That's what I would personally do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, there are things that you can do to, it's almost like there's different things like your body, your language, I would take notice of, etc. But, your body, you can do things to, you can slow your breathing down, you can feel the ground, make sure you can feel the ground beneath your feet so you're grounded.
Yeah.
You can roll your shoulders, head up, take a deep breath, slow everything down, and that changes your state. And when you change your state, then you'll change your physical response to the state.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But again, like I said, there's other elements to it as well. It's think about the language that you're using to yourself.
Yeah, how you talk to yourself in your brain.
How you talk to yourself, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of that can be subconscious almost, and subconsciously negative, and that'll be affecting us without us realising it.
Yeah. And these techniques take practice.
In what way do you think?
Take practice.
In what way do you think the physical sort of rolling your shoulders back, sorting out your posture with the feet under, feeling your feet? In what way what effect does that have? How does that help?
It just changes. If you change your physical state, it's like if you smile.
Okay.
There's evidence to say if you smile, you change your physicality.
Yeah.
So
and brain follows.
Pardon? Sorry.
And then the brain follows.
The brain, absolutely. So
and
you
vice
change,
versa,
and vice versa,
Okay.
vice versa. So if you do, and you basically change your state, then you will change how your body reacts to that state.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense.
And you can be feeling very nervous. It's a fight or flight basically response.
Yeah, of course.
To whether there's some interpretation of danger.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's
in reality, it's about... just dogs jumping over sticks. No danger.
Yeah, no danger. No mammoths coming over the hill.
Yeah, no risk of death.
So it's just about looking at the different elements. So your body language, your breathing, but also other elements like the self-talk to yourself and practicing that self-regulation. And the more you practice it, the more you'll be able to access it literally at the click of your fingers. Because you will train yourself to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. So
for sure. So the next one kind of goes into that. It's how do you switch from nervous to excited? Now, these have similar symptoms, don't they?
Yeah. So I actually don't think we switch from nerves into excitement per se. I think what we do is change the meaning of the story or what we attach to the feeling.
Okay.
So the example I would use is say you and I decide to go skydiving.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
We're not going to do that, by the way.
I was going to say, that'd be great, can we?
Exactly. So you would look forward to it.
Absolutely.
You would be excited, and I would be absolutely dreading it, right? So
yes,
I wouldn't want to go skydiving. So, but our physical response might be the same. So both our hearts would be racing, our breathing might be quicker, and we both might have butterflies. But what we've done is attached a completely different meaning to those sensations.
Yes.
So I'm dreading it, and you're excited. So the same thing happens before competition. So the physical feelings aren't necessarily the problem per se. It's the story that we're telling ourselves about what those feelings mean. When we change the story, those sensations often become something we can work with rather than something we need to fight.
Okay. Yeah, so it's more of a mental switch than anything, isn't it?
Well, I think it's about understanding the so what, the attachment that you've got, it means that, for example, if I don't get a clear round now, it means that people will think I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
So you've attached a meaning to the clear round. You've attached a meaning to the output.
Okay.
When actually, that attachment is not helpful to you. It doesn't help you perform better.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So it's about understanding that and then working to change the story.
Yeah.
Change the meaning, and then that will bring the level of anxiety down.
Yeah. It's all about the story.
Yeah.
Cool. So how do you overcome the fear of judgment from those around you then? So as we said, that's a big one. People around the ring, if you're an agility trainer. So if you work in the industry and you're worried about potential students not coming to you if you don't do well or anything like that. Or friends and family as well, if friends and family are watching, anything like that.
So as I said earlier, and as we've just said, it's really common. I think pretty much, I would say 80% of people, 80% of my clients have this thought process. And it can come up in so many different ways, like you said. Who's watching the run? Somebody else doing a great run before you, that's another one. Where you judge yourself, actually. Where you judge yourself and go, you start to compare yourself and go, oh, it's a great run. There's no way I can do anything better than that. It can come in the form of compliments as well. So it can come in the form of somebody coming up and going, oh, do you know what? This has got your name written all over it. This is yours. This is yours for the taking.
I hate that. Yeah.
And you can start to feel that pressure of expectation.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think the first thing to say is unrealistic to tell people not to care about what anyone thinks, because we're human and relationships matter.
Yeah.
So it's unrealistic to just go, oh, don't worry about it. But forget about it. That's not realistic.
Yeah.
So the question isn't whether you notice other people's opinions. It's whether you allow those opinions to disconnect you from what matters in the moment.
Okay.
That's it for me. And then I think what they all have in common, all of those examples that we've given, is again, what's happened is your attention has been taken away from the task at hand and has made you start to question things. But it is a pivotal moment, because if you can, at the very least, become self-aware to the point where you recognise that you're doing it, that gives you a choice. And as soon as you have a choice, you can go left or right. You can go one way or the other.
It's in your control then, isn't it?
Exactly. So what can you do about it? I think the first thing is to simply notice your shift of attention. We all drift, we all get caught up in our thoughts, but once you notice it, that allows you to make a difference. And I would go back to the moment. If you're about to go in the ring or someone has just said it to you, then I would ask myself, well, what do I need to do right now? And usually the answer is not think about what somebody else is thinking. It's going to be something like, well, I need to get to the ring, or I need to get my dog warmed up, or I need to think about what I'm doing on course, or my dog needs a wee or a drink, or needs to be taken out, or whatever. So if you can return the focus back to things that will help you, then I think that would be my piece of advice about the judgment thing, because you can't stop it. It might be real, it might not. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll never know.
We don't know if it's. We'll never know. We'll never know. So you're actually then just giving attention to something that's not helpful, and you can't change.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to assume people are judging you, you may as well assume they're not, because there's just as good a chance that they're not.
Yeah,
you don't know.
And I think the problem comes when it only becomes a problem when you or we as a person start treating somebody else's opinion as evidence of our own worth.
Yeah.
And where your attention goes, your performance will follow. So yeah, I think that's it for me. It's you probably can't stop it happening. If it even does, who knows? It might not, but there's a perception that it does. So perception is always reality. So I would say, think about what are you translating that into in your head, and then where are you allowing your attention to drift?
I think a lot of these points, I feel like the pattern has been that I've noticed, we're not trying to get rid of stuff. We're trying to use it to use it to help us. And even if it's quote unquote a negative thing, just learn to work with it instead 100%. Of getting rid of stuff. Like I think people think they have to get rid of all these thoughts and feelings. Yeah.
And you're exactly right. We're trying to work alongside it.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of it as well is possibly like looking for certainty. You're looking for certainty sometimes.
Yeah.
And certainty and agility for sure doesn't exist. But the more you search for certainty, the more questions you ask of yourself.
Yeah.
How can I not worry about that? How can I make it so that that's not going to interfere with me?
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. And so for me, it's about, I think the best athletes understand that there's no certainty, but do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's where the self-trust comes in that we spoke about right at the beginning. The self-trust to do it and to know that you'll cope with whatever happens.
Yeah.
Then you can relax. Then you can everything just calms down, because you go, well, so what? Whatever happens, I can cope with whatever happens.
Yeah.
And that's the trust in yourself.
Yeah, because personally as well, sometimes I'm almost more nervous about feeling like I know I feel after a quote unquote bad run or not getting the result than not actually getting the result, if that makes sense. So I think it's learning, to trust that you'll cope if it doesn't go well. And then that'll bring that nervous feeling down before, because you won't be worried about feeling like you do afterwards, because you'll learn to not.
And you can put plans in place for that.
Yeah.
You can have a plan to know how you're going to, if something doesn't go well, then how I'm going to respond is like this.
Yeah.
And often that will just quieten your mind down as well. Just knowing that you can trust yourself because you've got a plan.
Yeah, for sure. So in a similar way then, this next question is, what are your top tips for working through a fear of failure?
Yeah.
So that kind of thought, and I've had this where I almost would rather not even try than risk failing at something.
Yeah. And I think, again, it probably goes a bit deeper than the failure itself as such. It probably is more about what does the failure mean to them.
Yeah. Again, the story behind it.
The story behind it, yeah. So if you're going to treat a mistake on course as evidence that you're not good enough, or that you shouldn't be in that grade, or you shouldn't be competing against those people, then every competition suddenly feels like a judgment on your worth as a person, rather than simply an opportunity to run your dog.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's an enormous amount of pressure to carry.
Yeah, for 30 seconds it definitely is.
Yeah. And then the downside to that as well is then you become focused on avoiding failure. And once you try to avoid failure, your behaviour starts to change. You become more cautious. You start overthinking. You hesitate. You're looking for certainty before committing. And obviously, quite ironically, those are some of the things that make your performance worse.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's
then
true.
You almost start to run defensively rather than, attacking a course or whatever. So.
And every time I've run defensively, it's gone worse than when I just attack.
Yeah.
When I've tried to protect that clear round, I usually don't get the clear round.
Yeah. When you're trying to avoid something rather than actually getting stuck into it. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing that I'm trying to avoid usually happens when I try really hard to avoid it. Whereas if I just go in and attack it and think, I can cope if it goes wrong, I'm just going to give it a good go, that's when the clear round seems to come.
Yeah. And that's because you're focused on not making the mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not, you probably make a mistake before you even get there because you're not even thinking about the bit before.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think one of the things I would encourage people to do is separate the outcome from who they are. So separate the clear round or whatever, and what it means to them as a person. Separate those two out.
Yeah.
An outcome, a clear round or whatever, it gives you feedback. It doesn't define your value.
Yeah. That's true.
And every performance gives us information about what we can improve, whether it's a win or a mistake. It doesn't matter. You still get information from it. And then again, I would go back to this self-trust thing. It's about self-trust isn't believing about everything's going to go well or perfectly. It's about knowing that whatever happens, you're going to deal with it, you're going to learn from it, and you're going to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And then when you stop needing guarantees around your performance, you become much freer.
Yeah.
You've got to commit to whatever it is that you want to do. So I think it's about accepting that mistakes are part of competition, but refusing to let those mistakes define who you are.
And as well, I'll make mistakes in training, but because it's training, I've attached no meaning to that. So it doesn't affect me like it would a competition.
Exactly.
Whereas I go to a competition, make the same mistake that I've made in training before, but it really affects me for longer. And that's just because I've put different value on competition to training, obviously.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be, does it?
No. And I think it's about accepting that certainty can't be found.
No.
But being comfortable to perform without it. So in training, we have certainty, we know we can do these things.
Yeah.
But then as soon as the pressure hits, we start to question it.
Yeah. Exactly. It all changes.
It changes. But it's just the pressure. It's just got a different meaning attached to it.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why it changes. And it can be literally, like I say, it can be different things for different people.
Oh yeah.
And I think it doesn't matter what level you're competing at.
Yeah.
You can be grade 1, you can be in the World Championships. It really doesn't matter. Because the pressure is whatever you've brought to the table is your pressure.
Yeah, and people say to me, you act so confident, you look like you know what you're doing, you never look nervous or anything. You must, after all your experience, you must be so confident and stuff. But I do get nervous, just like everyone else. Do you know what I mean? Like, it isn't just for newbies, or it isn't just for a certain level or whatever. It's everyone. Everybody. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And if people think that, everyone else looks so confident, why am I nervous? It's probably not the case. They probably are deep down, I think. A little bit nervous.
Or they've got a different relationship with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Or they've done lots of work with you and come to terms with it.
Well, I don't try and eliminate nerves. That's the thing.
Yes.
I will try and change the story if it's something that's a bit of a roadblock. If it's blocking somebody's path forward.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't try and eliminate it.
No, yeah.
For me, it's about working with it. And when you start to approach it in that way, what usually happens is they lower anyway.
Yes, yeah, true. Cool.
They become manageable.
So the next question then is, how do you overcome performance perfectionism and stop overthinking? This one really hits home for me. So this one kind of strikes me in the sense of, you know, even if I go clear, say if I go clear and come second, I'll find something that's not perfect about it. Even if I go clear and win, I can pick apart my run and find something that's not perfect, or be annoyed that this wasn't better. And then the overthinking, yeah, that speaks for itself. Before, during, after, all the time.
Yeah. There's a lot of overthinking that goes on in agility for sure.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing I would say is distinguish between excellence and perfectionism and perfection, because I don't think they're the same thing. So excellence is about doing the very best you can with the skills that you have.
Yeah.
That's for me is being excellent at what you do. Perfectionism for me is often about trying not to make a mistake because of what that mistake may mean.
Okay.
So there's like, again, it's this other meaning that's attached to it. And I think the perfectionism is where the overthinking starts and where it begins.
Yeah.
And so thinking helps you prepare.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing to think.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that helps you. Overthinking is more what happens when preparation turns into an attempt to remove uncertainty.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or you're overthinking something because you're trying to be sure of what the outcome is going to be.
Yes, that certainty.
And you can never know.
Yeah.
You can never know in agility. Even if you've practiced something 100 times, you can't say with certainty that it's going to go exactly that way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, but when we're trying to be perfect, we're trying to make everything certain. So you might replay the course in your head, you might analyse every possible scenario, you start to second guess your decisions. And you keep thinking that if you keep doing that for longer and longer, and you keep asking more and more questions, eventually you'll find the answer that guarantees success. Well, the problem is competition doesn't work like that.
No,
you'll never find the answer.
No.
You'll never get to that answer. So one of the questions I would ask people to ask of themselves is that thinking, is to just, again, be self-aware. Is that thinking helping me? Or am I just trying to make uncertainty disappear? So is it a hindrance? They're very different. So good planning is useful. Endless analysis rarely is.
Yeah, because like you said, some thinking we need to think to do and do well, but overthinking and it kind of just, it ruins it.
Well, you the problem is you're overthinking because you're not getting an answer, but you're never going to get an answer.
Yeah, so it's pointless.
So it's pointless. You just keep on doing it. And so what you're doing is you're not improving your performance because you never find the answer. And what it does is it steals your attention away from what you could be doing.
True.
So I think the best handlers, best performers, prepare thoroughly. So they have that belief in their performance level.
Yeah.
I think then they make a decision. And then I think they commit to it. And then I think the consistent performance doesn't come from perfection, it comes from self-trust.
Yeah, because I think like making handling decisions when you walk in a course, there's a lot of, I think, overthinking in that for people. Overthinking handling decisions because and again, it's that lack of self-trust. You don't trust yourself to make the correct decisions for you and your dog, so you just spend like half an hour in there just going over and over and over. Over and over and over
and over and over again. But the thing is about the self-trust, it's you're not necessarily looking, and this is the difference, you're not necessarily looking to make what you've just called the right decision.
Yeah, true.
Okay? It's about trusting yourself to have made a good decision. Adapting, being able to adapt because you can trust your training and your ability to adapt when things don't go to plan, but then also trusting yourself to be able to recover when you make a mistake. Now, whether that is on the course or whether that's outside afterwards.
Yeah, true.
It's, you know, it's either or. And I think that's a much more realistic goal than trying to eliminate every possible error before you've even started.
Yeah.
Which is what you're trying to do when you're looking for perfectionism.
Yeah.
Or you're looking for the perfect answer to a particular part of the course.
I think it's something that can happen a lot both before and after, isn't it? Like you're overthinking how you're going to do it and stuff before you run, and then when you've run, you're overthinking what you did and didn't do, and how you could have made it better or whatever like that, and analysing whether, you know, before you run, is this the perfect handling option, or have I walked it the perfect, most efficient way to win? And then afterwards it's, you know, was that perfect? Where wasn't it perfect?
Yeah. And that comes into the review process, the reset and review process as well.
Yeah.
Because it's not always going to go right.
No, exactly. Never.
Mm.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So just to sort of summarise on that, I think is like, what are you actually trying to get? Are you trying to be excellent, or are you trying to be perfect?
Because I think striving for the best performance you can do on that course is very much achievable. Like, even if it's not a clear, you can still give your best performance. And something else happens, like your dog just knocks a pole or goes a bit wide, but you can still come out and say, I gave my best performance.
Yeah.
So it's way more achievable.
That's the excellent part.
Yeah.
That's
wasn't perfect, Ron,
excellent.
but you gave an excellent performance.
Yeah. So within your ability and the conditions that presented and the decisions that you made, you absolutely did the best job that you could. So that's striving for excellence.
Yeah, for sure.
When you strive for perfection, you're trying to eliminate all of the possible errors that you could make. That's a different thing.
Yeah, true. So how then can you run a course confidently when it includes one of your weakest skills or pieces of equipment? So I guess this is like, say you walk a course and go, oh no, there's in my case, seesaw. I'm scared about that because it's wobbly. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe for someone it's a certain weave entry or a certain jump skill, like a threadle wrap from a certain angle, and they know that they have a sort of, not failure rate, but sort of the evidence is built up in the past that the dog hasn't done this brilliantly. How do you still go into that run in the mindset you need to be in?
Yeah. So I think the first thing, again, it's completely normal. And I have actually got clients who have come to me because of this. So it's, you know, it's normal to build that meaning attached to an obstacle. And again, what happens is then that obstacle gains far more attention than it probably deserves. So instead of running the course that's in front of them, they're mentally running the difficult section over and over again before they've even started. So, you know, they might be thinking, oh, don't mess up the weaves, or I always struggle with that contact, or this is where it's going to all go wrong. This is where I'm going to get eliminated. And by the time you get there, you're not acting normally. So you're not, you know, you're trying to control every movement. You're trying to manage it maybe, or you're acting a bit weirdly. You know, the dog will notice for sure.
Dog always notices, and that's often probably why they get it in training and not in competition, because you approach it in competition and go all like, inside, and the dog goes, this must be scary.
So your performance becomes less fluid. So I think rather than trying to convince somebody that the obstacle isn't difficult, I'd help them change their relationship with it. That would be the first thing. The second thing I would say is be honest, right? Acknowledge it honestly. If it is actually one of your weaker skills, then take that as information and do whatever you have to do with it. So, you know, train it or whatever it is that you need to do to fix the issue, because there might actually be an issue. So, you know, acknowledge that. But let's say you're faced with that in an important competition that you're worried about. I would say, again, bring your attention back to what you can influence in the moment, because you can't influence that course. I I do believe that you don't want to be focused just on that section of the course, because if you're not careful, you may well get eliminated prior to that.
Or maybe
you might encounter an issue before that because you're not concentrating on the right thing.
Yeah, you hear a lot of people say, "Oh, got the hard bit, but got eliminated on the easy bit."
Yeah.
Yeah, and it may very well be because they were so focused on that hard bit, they let the easy bit slip.
Exactly. Exactly that. So ask yourself, what can I influence? That I can influence my handling, my timing, connection with the dog, and making decisions.
Yeah.
And again, I know I keep rattling on about this, but the self-trust is where this becomes important. So it's trusting yourself that you might not execute it perfectly, but whatever happens, you're going to stay present, you'll adapt, and you'll keep handling.
Yeah. You'll keep moving on.
You'll keep going. It's not going to completely floor you. And if you always, again, are looking for that certainty that you'll get through or past your weakest obstacle flawlessly every time before you can to perform confidently, you'll probably never feel ready, because competition can never give you that guarantee.
And also then often what happens is one weakest obstacle or skill gets fixed, and then another one crops up, or a dog suddenly starts missing a certain weave entry instead, and then we think that's an issue. So it's never, there's always going to be something we might be a little bit like, and especially as we get higher up the grades, they're set to be hard courses, and you hear it all the time, or I do in course walking, and people are going around going, oh, that's hard, that's going to catch a lot of people out, or I'm worried about that bit, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that does raise like another issue, if you like, of it's going back to that trusting your decisions and the narrative and the talk and what you're allowing to distract you in terms of other people on the course walking and things like that. So I think in this specific case of a weak obstacle, I think the first thing would be to acknowledge it. What is really the issue? Is it the actual obstacle? Is there something that needs to be fixed there? Or is it because you have attached a story to it that you think everybody's watching? Everybody knows you've got a poor seesaw. Everybody's going to be watching my seesaw because they know.
Expecting it,
or is it that they're just going to think that I can't train contacts?
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. It's that judgment thing comes back in. So what I would do would be to dig a bit deeper into that and understand what is actually driving the fear, and then help them regulate, understand that, and then return their focus to what matters.
No, that makes sense. I think another thing, the importance as well, going back to the hearing people talking, course walking, of that self-trust is not letting that change your decisions. Because the amount of times I've heard or watched other people run a course a different way to how I was going to do it, and last minute change my decision, and then it's gone wrong because I've gone with what someone else said. That's super important. You've got to trust yourself over what you hear around you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's probably not helpful if that sort of thing can change your mind. It's probably not helpful to watch other people run.
No, exactly. Yeah, just don't put yourself in that
watch
situation.
A course for any length of time, maybe one or two people, just to see, get a bit of a feel. But I wouldn't stand and watch a competition if I was in it. If I was easily distracted, or somebody that is going to be influenced by other people's handling methods.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Because trust that you've made the good decision.
That's another thing as well, like, if you know a situation or something triggers you or isn't good for you, then, instead of fighting it and trying to, work around it, just, if you can, don't put yourself in it. Do you know what I mean? Sort of manage the situation, I guess. Like you said, just don't be there.
I mean, watching courses is
walking's obviously you have to be there, but you could put headphones on, for example. That's helped me. And they don't hear
we talked
it.
about that, didn't we? I mean, putting headphones on, even if you haven't got them switched on.
Exactly.
Putting headphones on, people are unlikely to talk to you if you've got headphones on.
Just knowing
if
what
you don't want to
affects
be
you, isn't
distracted.
it? And everyone's different. Cool.
Everyone's different, absolutely.
So, do you believe in fake it till you make it, and why or why not?
I would say I'm a no on this one.
Okay.
I'm a not fake it till you make it.
Mm.
The reason for that is that I think eventually reality catches up.
Okay.
I think your dog will notice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't hide anything, can you, from them?
Won't get past them, not
Yeah.
usually, unless you're a really good actor.
Yeah.
And for me, I think, why would I, faking it till you make it takes energy. It takes attention, it takes focus to do. Why would I use my energy and focus on something that's fake when actually I could be building something authentic?
Yeah.
That's going to serve me, well into the future.
That's true, yeah.
So that would be me. I'd rather be authentic.
Yeah. Yeah, it requires a little bit more work, but once you've done it, it's done, and it'll carry you through the rest of your agility career, really, instead of having to use all that effort and energy on that when you should be, again, focusing on the handling, the course, your dog, stuff like that.
And because it's not built on solid foundation, it won't take much to make it crack.
Yeah, true. It's not substantial enough, is it? Or sustainable, really. Can't keep it up for
I don't
long.
think so. I mean, maybe other people would disagree, but for me, it just, because again, you can't think of every single scenario. Something will pop up that just knocks you a bit.
Yeah.
Where if you've truly got self-belief, and that's the difference for me, it's not even about confidence, it's about self-belief.
Yeah.
And I think confidence is built on evidence, but that as soon as that evidence changes, then your confidence can be knocked. So for example, if you're supremely confident about your seesaws, for example, I'm supremely confident about my seesaws, and then something happens and you, for some reason, the dog misses something, exits a bit early or whatever, and suddenly your confidence can be knocked really easily. So for me, the self-belief bit is about attributes.
Okay.
It's about attributes. So rather than evidence of confidence, what I'm looking for is evidence of things that mean more for you as a person. So things like courage, things like bravery, resilience, hard work ethics. Those are the things that you can rely on. And what we did, as you know, together, we built a bank of evidence of all of those things that make the actual difference and that are long-standing. And so now you've got all of that in the bank. You can literally go in there and unlock that vault, unlock that bank, and take any of those resources out whenever you need to.
And then the evidence to show, isn't it? The evidence to prove to yourself that you are those things and you can do those things. And
nobody can take them away from you.
No.
So then when you look at it like that, you start to go, well, hang on a minute, the judgment doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, true.
Because I've got this stuff in the bank that nobody can access but me.
Yeah.
They're mine to own. Nobody can shake them because I've got proof, because we built them on proof.
Yeah.
And so they're unshakable.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Whereas for me, confidence, especially fake confidence, just doesn't have that solid foundation.
No, it's not the same. Won't last.
No.
Cool. So how do you mentally reset after an unsuccessful run then? So I suppose, again, success and unsuccessful is relative, isn't it? It depends what everyone considers success and not. But
100%.
If you come out of a run and you're unhappy with it, how do you then reset for the next run or the next day?
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. It's, success measures are different. My success measure could be that I just want to make sure, my dog waits on the start line.
Yeah.
Hallelujah, if that happens, that's great. So that could be my success measure, or it could be that I've got through to a champ final.
Yeah.
So that's my measure of success. So it's very independent and very subjective.
Yeah.
So I think about the reset. First of all, I think there's two things. I think there's reset and review.
Yeah.
So, and reset, again, can be at different times. So there's reset as in literally in the second, in the moment.
So that'll be on course if a mistake happens.
On course. Or, like you say, after what you might consider a bad run, how do I then reset so it just doesn't ruin the whole weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I say reset first.
Yeah.
And reflect later.
Okay.
So your review comes later. And I think there's two states that we're in.
Okay.
One is evaluation and one is execution.
Okay.
And I think we can all often be found to be in evaluation for too long. So often we're evaluating while we're running. You know, oh, that was a fabulous turn. Oh, that looked great.
Yeah.
Or, oh, that was a
it's
bit
that
wide.
internal
We're
narrative,
evaluating.
isn't it?
That's it. We're evaluating the run. When actually our focus should be on the execution, because we're there to do a job. We're there to run the course.
Yeah.
That's what we're there to do. So in that moment, it's about execution, not evaluation.
Yeah.
And I've seen, you know, just on that reset point, I've seen people running at Crufts, for example. As you know, I do the commentary at Crufts, so I'm often, you know, right on it. I can see right on the course and right there. And I'll see people do things and I think there's no way.
No
way you meant to go left there. Can't imagine that you would have chosen to do that. But the reset is so quick.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's it's in the second. And that is a great ability and skill set to be able to reset in that second. And then I think obviously we have the reset after a run. So when we want to stop any overthinking or spiraling, you know, at that point.
Because we have so much time, don't we? Like between runs often as well. Like we'll finish a run and we'll just have 2 hours where you're just at the show. So it's really hard not to get into that mindset.
Yeah, 100%. Or to look at the videos.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Straight
away. Look at the videos. Yeah. So for me, what I would advise is first of all, focus on your reset.
Okay.
And how you're going to park anything that's going around your head. So there's a little technique or tool that I share with people. It's on my Facebook page as well, which is just around shapes.
Okay.
So you have a circle, a shape, a shape, which is a square, and then the final shape is a triangle. So a circle, a square, and a triangle. And this allows quick decision making. So what is circling? What the circle represents, what's going round and round your head. Oh no, do you know what? I meant to cue that earlier. That's going round and round my head. What needs to be squared off? Is the next thing. Is it a training issue? Is it just one of those things? Can I just let it go? What do I need to do with that information? And then the triangle represents the next three things I'm going to do.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm going to put it in my training book. I'm going to view the video on Monday at 6:00 when I look at all my videos from the weekend, and I'm going to go and get a coffee.
Yeah.
Number three is always go and get a coffee.
Yeah, always so, makes you feel better, doesn't it? Yeah.
So that's the three actions you're going to take on the triangle.
Yeah.
And if you can practice that process, it's really quick decision making tool. What's circling? What needs to be squared off? What are my next three actions? And you can do it literally in seconds.
Yeah.
The other thing is sometimes if you're struggling with overthinking, is to take the emotion out of your review of the run.
Okay.
And again, we've got a little technique for that, which is around traffic lights, basically, which is red, amber, green.
Yes.
So green means and it's about taking the emotion out. So it's fact. I executed everything I wanted to do on course. Tick.
Yeah.
Amber, there was one slight error that I want to look at. So that's an amber. Or red, it was a bit of a car crash. I didn't do anything I planned to do.
Yeah.
And that's just pure fact. It just gives you information.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just information. And then from that information, you can then go into the shapes if you want, if you feel that a decision needs to be made. So that's how I advise my clients to reset after a run, to just do that short process. And then in terms of review, I would argue to review, I would put a date in your diary in the week, Monday night, for example, 6:00, get all my videos out. I've now calmed down I haven't got emotion attached to it. I've got a little list from my shapes. Maybe I've got a little list that I want to look at. I want to check what I'm looking at. I want to make sure that I've come to the right conclusion. And then that gives me a training plan, for example, for the next week.
Yeah. I think another thing I notice as well is like resetting, as far as resetting in the moment on course. A lot of people will make a mistake or something will go wrong, like a little one. You know, maybe it's 5 faults, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
But then you'll see them deflate and kind of almost give up for the rest of the run.
Yeah.
Which, you know, you could still get a better result if you just kept pushing and get a better idea of where you are and times and stuff like that if you just keep going and reset quickly rather than think, oh, that it's over now, I'm not going to win because of that little faff. Do you know what I mean? I see that a lot. And I think it's, people deflate in the moment and then go off, not worth it anymore.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, we're sort of leaning into dog training a little bit, which is, you know, not what we're here for. But I think there's something to be said from carrying on with conviction. For the dog's confidence and, you know, but it depends on what your goals are and all that. I completely appreciate that.
Yeah, true.
But just to deflate because of a mistake, I'm not sure that serves you well long term.
No, not at all.
I think there's probably a better strategy in there. Either you want to correct it for whatever reason, or you want to carry on with you want your dog to gain confidence. I think are probably two better strategies to consider, put it that way.
Yeah, and you enjoy the rest
rather
of the
than
more
just
as well.
defraining.
100%,
yeah,
sure.
Exactly.
So what are your top tips then for dealing with and coming back from rejection? This person says, for example, from Team GB after trying out. So this is always a tough one, isn't it?
It is a tough one. It is absolutely tough. And I think for me, it's about a little bit about the self-talk and the language around it. So first of all, I would say be aware of the language that you use to yourself. So if we take this question as an example, the word rejection is, in my book, different to not being selected.
Yeah, it sounds harsher, doesn't it?
Yeah, so rejection has a self-worth and emotional implication, whereas not being selected provides me with data.
Yes, true. Yeah.
So first of all, I would say just be aware of the language that you're using to yourself, because it may or may not be helpful. And then in this scenario, I would say, okay, so I've not been selected, so what's my next move?
Yeah.
What do I want to do? So my first question would probably be, do I want to try out again?
Yeah.
You know, and if I do, if I don't, well, happy to, that's it, I'm done. Don't need to consider it anymore. But if I do, then I would say to myself, well, okay, let me look at the data that I received. If you get feedback from the not being selected, or do your own self-analysis and ask yourself, well, what would have been the difference that made the difference? That's a very NLP term. What's the difference that makes the difference?
What could I have done?
What would it have been? Was it did I need more consistency? Was it a weak spot particularly? That, you know, and then I would build a plan from that to look at those things. It might even be your mental state. It might even be your ability to tackle nerves or something. So, but whatever it is, that selection process should provide you with information to help you make a decision. Either get better or change your approach, or, you know, one of those words, you know, one of those phrases, not being selected, is about data, and the other one is about self-worth. Rejection is about, how does that make me feel about myself? That's different.
But you can use that productively, can't you, to go away and work on things.
Exactly. It depends what you want to do. And, you know, it's all within your control whether you want to go for it again. And let's be honest as well, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. It could be that you take a year off.
True.
Or you go for a different international event.
No, true. There's other options, isn't there?
There's always other options.
It doesn't mean the end of your agility career.
Oh God, no, 100%.
Like it feels,
Yeah, and it can feel like that. And it sometimes goes back to that judgment thing. I know, we've had conversations in the past about this sort of thing where, does it mean that people won't want to train with you? Or
Yes,
does it,
yeah.
And that's when, again, when we're attaching huge responsibility to a process that arguably you can't control. You can only turn up
and do your best.
And do your best,
Yeah.
drive your excellence.
Yeah.
To the best of your ability. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
You can only showcase what you can do, but a lot of it is out of your control.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what my advice would be on that one.
Yeah, cool. So what should you do if you lose motivation and start feeling burnt out? So maybe you do a lot of agility in one go and you just suddenly don't want to do it anymore, or you have a spell of not doing as well as you want and that makes you feel like you don't want to continue. What's your advice in that kind of situation?
Okay, so I think for me this is about this person may have lost connection with why they started agility in the first place.
Yeah, okay.
And so I would probably revisit that. I mean, most of us don't start agility thinking, maybe some of us do, I don't know, but I don't think we start agility thinking, oh, I'm going to, go on and win a champ ticket, or I'm going to,
exactly.
I want to get up the grades, I want to go from grade 1 to grade 2. I think most of us join or start doing agility. We've either seen it on TV and thought, oh my God, that looks amazing, let's do it.
Yeah.
Or, or we've got a dog and we think, we'd quite like to have a go or whatever. So I think a lot of our reasons for starting agility usually are around getting some sort of pleasure out of running our dog.
Yes, yeah.
And finding joy in the relationship that we have, and enjoying the training, and et cetera, et cetera. So I think this person may have lost a little bit of why they actually started agility in the first place. So I'd probably revisit that.
Got too wrapped up in potentially the competition side of it and the pressure.
Possibly again.
Yeah. Or even sometimes I think just doing too much, like especially in the summer, I've had it where it's been competition after competition and nothing else in life, and you just start feeling really burnt out by it. And then personally, 3 weeks off or whatever, and you're back to it. So it could just be as simple as that. But
it might well be, yeah.
But otherwise, it's thinking, why do I even do this in the first place? And then that usually will, revitalise you, find that spark again.
Absolutely. And I think somewhere the joy has been lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's because they're doing too much or or they're focused on the competition rather than enjoying what they do with their dog or whatever. We don't know, but I think somewhere along the line the joy has been gone, the joy has been lost. So I would revisit that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I would do.
Because that's why we do it after all, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
So, what is your best piece of advice then for someone wanting to improve their competitive psychology? So to kind of summarise everything and wrap it up.
Wrap it all up in one book. I think if I was to give one piece of advice, it would probably be along the lines of being aware of the questions that you ask yourself under pressure.
Yeah.
Because our brains become brilliant at answering the questions we ask.
Yes, true.
So we all ask questions of ourselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're poor quality questions. So it might be like, oh, why did I fail?
Yes.
Or why do I always do that? Or what will everyone think?
Yeah.
And
definitely.
None of those questions actually help you perform.
No, not at all.
So there are better questions to ask. So for example, instead of can I do it, I would say something like, well, what do I need to do next? That's a better question. Yeah.
Actionable.
It gives you an action. Not what if I make a mistake.
Yeah.
But a better question would be, how am I going to respond if something unexpected happens?
Yeah.
So the quality of your question changes the quality of your attention.
Okay.
And the quality of your attention changes your performance.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense.
So for me, performing well under pressure isn't about finding the perfect mindset or eliminating nerves. It's about asking better questions, directing your attention to what matters,
Yeah.
and then trusting yourself to deal with it, and
Okay.
trusting yourself to deal with whatever happens next.
Yeah, it's that self-trust again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So, last question then, more of a personal one this time. What are your future plans for New Era, and what do you want to achieve out of it?
Okay, so I love doing the one-to-one stuff.
Yeah.
That brings me so much sort of like satisfaction, if you like, from seeing people really, really enjoy what they love doing and getting results. You know, that's why people normally come to me, because they want a different outcome of some description. And it seems to be going well, to be fair. So I love that. I think what I'd love to do next is obviously continue with that, which is very bespoke. It's very bespoke to each individual person.
Yeah, for sure.
But also then help more people than I could ever do one-to-one.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going to start doing, I've got some workshops planned. I'm hoping to write some short courses so people can access them, digitally and self-serve.
Yes,
do some stuff on their own. More speaking, maybe even a book. Might write a book. Cool. More podcast appearances, and then develop this approach that I'm developing at the moment, that actually is going to help more people in sport, in business, and life pressures, whenever the pressure hits, really.
Yeah, because it's not just in agility competitions, is it? In life, it's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's even it's public speaking.
Yeah, definitely.
It's which is the thing that I enjoy. I don't think many people say that, actually, quite bizarrely. So I love the public speaking bit. But some people find it really difficult, to get up and stand and speak in front of people.
Yeah.
But the pressure's the same. It's the same sort of pressure.
Yeah, I suppose any performance, interviews, you've got
interviews, exams,
business, presentations. That's the word I was looking for. Stuff like that. Yeah, exams, everything.
Exams, anything like that, really, where you're putting pressure on yourself to perform.
Yeah. Yeah.
In whatever way that's when the pressure hits, because something shifts. So what I'm doing is looking at how can we shape that shift.
Yeah.
How can we make it work for you, and how can we actually turn it into something productive?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
because ability is not the issue.
Yeah, never.
Ability is not the issue.
Yeah. Because we can do it. Like in agility, we've trained it, we can do it, we've proved to ourselves we can do it. It's just executing it when that pressure hits.
Yeah, when the pressure hits.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome.
And it comes, like we said, in so many different guises.
Yeah.
So many different guises.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing. Well, it sounds very exciting.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it.
Definitely. So where can people find you then online if they want to get in touch, see more of what you do?
Yeah. They can go... Sorry. They can find me on Facebook.
Yeah.
New Era. Just type in New Era and New Era Performance. Instagram. They can DM me. Just send me a message.
Yeah. Facebook Messenger, I always go.
Facebook Messenger is a good one. Yeah. Facebook Messenger is a good one. Yeah. Or if you see me at a show and you want to have a chat, just stop and have a chat with me. What I tend to do, if people ask me for one-to-ones, I will always put in, I call it a discovery call. It's free.
Yes, okay.
Half an hour, whatever. It's not really, I don't time it or anything, it's a free chat just to see if I can help them with whatever issues they're having. So anybody's welcome to talk to me or Facebook me, message me about one of those discovery calls. That's fine as well.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much. I think, very well answered questions. I think, everyone will have learnt a lot, because I've got so many requests for stuff about, mental psychology, stuff like that. I think it's a very common thing. So, this would be great for people. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope it helps.
I'm sure it will. Definitely help me anyway.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And I shall see you soon.
See you soon.
What an amazing conversation. Thank you so much, Kate, again for joining me on the podcast this week. Honestly, such an important, often overlooked topic within agility and any competitive sport, and honestly, any walk of life like we were discussing that involves any ounce of pressure, which is probably a lot of things, to be honest. It really is a lot of things. Life involves a lot of pressure. So when you know how to cope with it, then life is just easier and your agility performance will improve. Now, this is going to be the last episode until I'm back from EO, so I am going to have a week off the podcast. So next week, the 22nd, there will not be an episode, but then I'm hoping to get an episode out the following Wednesday, the 29th. I get back late on the 27th, which is the Monday. So hopefully during either the Tuesday or the Wednesday, even though I'm pretty booked up with work as soon as I get back, I will have enough time to record an episode and basically debrief you on EO, because it's happening, guys. A week on Friday, the first day of competition. Cannot believe it. Generally cannot believe it. It is all just, it's come around so fast. I can't quite get over it, but I'm super excited. So look forward to an episode in 2 weeks' time, debriefing the whole event, how me and Arrow get on. Just our trip away. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please do leave the podcast a 5-star rating and review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Also, make sure you're following the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever platform you use to stream your podcast. That way you won't miss any future episodes. Also, do keep sending me your podcast topic requests and recommendations. So what things you would like me to speak about in episodes on my own, and then what guests you would like me to have on in the future, and what you would like me to speak about with those guests. You are pretty much guaranteed to get your request or recommendation turned into an episode, because I'm just that good to you guys. If you have requested something and it hasn't become an episode yet, hang fire. I'm working through them and getting them recorded and getting them out to you guys. But yeah, keep sending me those. You can send those via DM on social media at Pause in Pursuit or Summer Clark. Also, make sure to follow me across all the platforms on social media. You can keep up again with what me and Arrow are getting up to, and that is where I will be posting all the EO updates and, stories of our time in France, etc. So make sure you're following me over on those. Also, we are pretty much smack bang in the middle of the agility season now, which means it's time to ramp up the training and make sure you end the season well. So if you are struggling with any aspect of your agility training or would just like to level it up, then do head over to my Safe Stride Solutions link, which you can find in the description of this podcast episode, and treat yourself to a training aid or two, whether that's a weave guide, a stride regulator, a tight turn guide, anything that will just shave those extra few seconds off your times in competition, make your dog more likely to get their weave entries, weave exits, their contacts, anything like that. Please do head over and treat yourself, because you deserve it. We agility handlers work hard, okay? And we need nice things too. So if it's going to be nice for you and it's going to improve your dog's agility performance, then why the hell not? So many of their products has helped me and Arrow in our agility journey, and also they continue to help my students, okay? Honestly, the difference is incredible. And also, as I'm on the topic of my students, I also am an in-person agility instructor. So if you'd like to train with me, postcode LN6 in Lincoln, whether that is a one-to-one or a group class, again, just send me a DM and we can schedule something. My availability is pretty flexible for a one-to-one, so just let me know when you're available and I will fit you in somewhere. And also, if you are interested in a regular either weekly or fortnightly group class, max 5 dogs, then please DM me and I can tell you which group classes I currently have space in. So I would absolutely love to work with you guys in person. Think that is it for this week, guys. Wish me luck at EO, and I'm so excited. I will keep you guys all updated across the whole week over on social media, like I said, especially Instagram stories, so make sure you follow me on there. But yeah, have a great couple of weeks, guys, and I will speak to you in 2 Wednesdays time at 8 p.m. Bye, guys.